Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tucker Breeze, and welcome up to the Nosebleeds. All right, we're back. I'm sitting alongside Hunter Compston, and we're going to break down what's going on in the NFL as of week 2 of preseason. So there have been a few things that we've seen across the past couple weeks.
Quite a few.
We got to see Shador out there.
Yeah.
Now we got to see Dylan Gabriel out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joe Flacco's named the starter. What's your mindset on what's going to happen with the quarterback room in Cleveland?
In Cleveland, I mean, it's really up in the air. I mean, with Joe Flacco's age, who knows how long he lasts, you know? I mean, every time he's showed up, he's been pretty solid in the injury department and everything, even performance department as well. But, you know, there's a big deadline on that. So, but at the same time, it might not be bad for Shador to sit for a year, you know what I mean? So, I think there's a lot of good things, you know?
That's assuming that Shador makes the roster. You think they're going to keep 4 quarterbacks? Because Kenny Pickett could be the odd man out. If it were up to me, I would get him out of there. Trade him because you could probably get the most capital for him.
Yeah, I mean, even just the star power that Shador has. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Even just the star power Shador has, I think they'll keep him in. You know, even if he is the third, and honestly, he performed really well in all the preseason games so far. So,
who's that?
Shador.
He only played 1.
Either way, everyone was raving about how good he looked in that one, and I as well agree. He looked pretty spot on. It is still preseason. Everyone, forgets it is preseason, but
yeah. So my question is, will Kenny Pickett be traded, or will one of the rookies be let go?
It's hard to say. I think Kenny Pickett over one of the rookies, though. I mean,
yeah, I agree
those rookies have potential, you know what I mean? Like, and we've seen Pickett out there.
Yeah.
You know, look at him on the Eagles last year. There's some.
Yeah, in the last game.
Yeah,
or one of the last
there's quite a few memes after that game. You know, just about him. So.
He could serve as a better option, maybe in New Orleans, somewhere like that.
100%. Yeah. It's hard to tell. You know, they have a lot of quarterbacks, and they're all questionable at the moment, you know?
Yeah.
There's no 100% who's going to start, who's going to do this, that. How long's Gabriel out?
He played this past game.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. So
he threw a pick 6, and then he continued to say in an interview that there's competitors and there's entertainers. And then some people thought it was a shot at Shador, saying that he's just an entertainer and that Dylan's an actual competitor. But after throwing a pick 6, he probably was feeling a little salty.
A little salty for sure.
Had to let some steam off.
I'd imagine so. But I do think Dylan Gabriel has the chance to be quite a bit better than Shador in the long run. Yeah. But, again, there's still questions on him, too. So.
Yeah. So, moving down to New Orleans, who I briefly brought up, their quarterback situation is also murky, with Spencer Rattler taking over the lead for a starting role. That's not official, but that's based on playing time and overall performance in the preseason.
So far.
Right. Yeah. So Tyler Shuck, that second-round rookie, he could very well start the season as backup, but it might still be an ongoing competition as we see throughout the season.
Yeah.
So I personally am not too confident. If I were a fan of that team, I wouldn't be confident of either.
Either way. I mean, it's not their only whole team either. Yeah. I feel like they got a lot of stuff to figure out. So
especially with a first-year head coach, I mean, it's definitely going to be some growing pains in New Orleans.
Yeah, and with the quarterback room that questionable, you know, what was Rattler picked up for again? I think in the 4th or 5th round.
I believe he was a 4th rounder.
4th rounder. I thought so. Which I did see potential out of him, but I don't know. I mean, you could see potential in college, and then it gets to the NFL, and it's a whole lot different. So
and he had to transfer to South Carolina. He was at Oklahoma
to be a starter.
Yeah, you know what happened there, but
yeah.
So I think New Orleans as well as Cleveland are both probably terrible situations right now. I mean, I guess having Joe Flacco in Cleveland's a better situation than having no veteran in
100%, and a veteran that can actually play really well for his age and for his time of not being in the NFL as well. So.
Yeah. All right, so shifting gears, there's been another movement there's been more movement in Cleveland. They picked up undrafted rookie Isaiah Bond. He was dealing with some legal issues off the field, which have been dropped.
Yeah.
He was given a fully guaranteed contract. And that's pretty... He was projected to be a second or third round pick.
Yeah.
But he obviously went undrafted. He's getting paid more than some drafted players. So
really,
what are your opinion on that?
I mean, it's hard because when you get drafted, you are getting that deal of when you're drafting them. You know what I mean? But still surprising for sure. I mean, who knows that those legal... I mean, obviously they've talked to him quite a bit if they're pursuing him this far. But at the same time, I mean, where there's usually someone that has legal issues, I mean, it's usually not just once. You know what I mean? It usually comes back. So we'll see if maybe that was something crazy or just a fluke, or if they come back and proceed. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
but I do think he's worth quite a bit. Like, I think he'll probably, what do you think, be their number one almost?
No, they have Jerry Jeudy.
That's true.
I'd say probably fight for 3 spot or 2 spot maybe.
Yeah, I could definitely see him at 2. I think he'll surprise a lot of people though.
Well, Cleveland's no stranger to dealing with controversy at a player. Quinshon Judkins, the only unsigned draft pick still.
Really?
He also just got a case dismissed with some off-the-field issues. And,
yeah.
He still has yet to sign his contract because they could be investigating further into it. So we don't know what we're going to see or if we're going to see Quinshon out there at the beginning of the year.
Which is such a disappointment. And at the same time, I know the Bears were looking at him, so it's good to...
do your research on the player, I guess.
Yeah, and just avoid that drama. You know what I mean? Like,
so there's also something else that I thought was pretty interesting, and we're going to stick with the state of Ohio as the Bengals. They've been reporting that they're just now listening to offers for Trey Hendrickson. Do you think that this is something that is new, or have they really been probably listening this whole time? Because you're trying to get rid of this guy anyway.
You are, but you're not. You're trying to find any way to keep him. But at the same time, once you realize he's really committed to leaving, you got to find the best available trade for you out there.
Well, he's the best player on defense, no doubt about it. But even so, their defense was terrible last year.
Yeah.
And you can lead the league in sacks, but if you have no one around you, your defense, it's still bad. So
well, and think about how good he would do on a defense that just needs that one piece. You know what I mean? Instead of a defense that, like you said, has a lot of holes.
Yeah.
Like,
so I think based off what I've heard from their vice president of player personnel or whatever, he was saying that, they respect the hell out of him. They think he's a great player. They think he's an animal. They really look for his type of player. That's their type of guy. But if you're just now stating that you're listening to offers, come on. You've been waiting for somebody to jump on it because you're not going to give them a deal. So it's just I agree with that. I think it's almost no news. So yeah, but I just wanted to touch on that because I did see and thought it was interesting that they decided to put that out there.
Him on some other teams would be absolutely terrifying. Like,
give me a list of 2 or 3 teams you think he can make a pretty big impact on. That would be a good fit too.
Okay. Well, you're looking at a team that has the capital to make the trade as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, man.
I can tell you the teams that have apparently already been interested.
Okay.
So the Panthers, the Colts, and the Patriots.
Yeah. The Patriots would be a banger.
Yeah.
I think that would be they have a lot of young guys and a lot of upcoming guys, and I think they could look really good next year, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, even the Panthers.
Yeah, they're missing a couple pieces here and there.
Yeah, and I think they could really fill out and be a pretty darn good team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's hard to know exactly what he'll go for. You know, what would you think? Like a first and a...
They want a first or second. This is what they said. They want a first-round pick, ideally, with a defensive player. It does not have to be the same position of Trey Hendrickson.
Okay.
So, ideally, you send... And, speaking of New England, their general manager just stated that they would be willing to get rid of a first or second-round pick to get a high-level player.
Yeah.
So, that almost points a perfect fit. They're going to get rid of that first-round pick. The question is, what's the other defensive player?
And it'd be scary because that offense is starting to come together, too, with some new pieces they've been accumulating. You know what I mean? And the new head coach as well.
Exactly.
You know,
with Vrabel, I think adding some nasty defensive players is a good idea.
The biggest pick overall, or the biggest improvement, was
So I mean, I guess we're both suggesting that Trey Hendrickson goes to the Patriots.
Okay, yeah. I wouldn't mind it.
I support it.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
The Eagles, they landed a wide receiver via trade.
Yep.
You might be unfamiliar with him, but for those of you that follow SEC football in the past few years, or like just Alabama, or you know about his cancer story, John Mechie, he has been traded to the Eagles, but he's overcome a lot, and now he's finally going to get a chance to play. So I think that's a great move. Obviously, for the Eagles, they have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, but
Already a great receiver core.
adding a third guy like that, I think that can compete for some reps. I think that's a really good move, and they got
at the same time not super necessary. I feel like.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
What brought them to the Super Bowl? We were actually looking this up today. What brought them to the Super Bowl is definitely their run game.
Yeah.
And I believe I said Hurts got 2,900 yards.
Passing.
Passing yards.
And 18 touchdowns. So their air game is not very...
And think about it. They have A.J. Brown and...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, so maybe adding this John Mechie, maybe this move will be beneficial, might pick up...
I mean, either way, it's going to spread the defense. You know what I mean? Like, you got to keep those guys covered because you don't want to see them make a big play, that's for sure. So
no doubt. So, with that being said, do you think that the Eagles or the Texans are better off after this move? With the Texans' current wide receiver room as stacked as it is.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's hard to say.
Well,
I mean, but the Texans also, a lot of injuries last year.
Right, but they drafted 2 receivers this year, back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, and they're both looking great.
Yeah. And then they got Nico.
Yeah.
And, like, they have a plethora of
Yeah.
receivers to go to. Nico looked amazing last year. He was definitely, I would say, their number one for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Tank Dell's going to be out this year with the injury.
Which Tank Dell, I think, could have been their number one, honestly. That's why I say it like that, because with the connection of him and CJ,
yeah,
you know, I really think he could have. But, again, he was plagued with injury almost all year. So, and then you're saying he's out again this year?
Yeah, he tore something, or tore his
So,
ACL
I mean, right
again.
when he comes back, you know, another injury, that's very unfortunate because I really do like him.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's some other stuff going on in the league, of course. I wanted to discuss what was going on with Russell Wilson in the New York Giants quarterback room.
Russ not looking too hot.
Well, I think what we're seeing is Jackson Dart is looking pretty good.
That's true.
And Russell Wilson's been given limited time.
I think Dart was underrated from the get-go. I think I like his personality, his size.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got a lot of stuff going for him.
He'll be their franchise quarterback, no doubt.
100%.
No doubt.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, Russell. Either way, it's good to sit behind someone like Russell for a year with all the teams he's gone to. You know, he's gone to a few different teams, picked up a few different offenses now. He knows this league better than most, for sure. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, and he looked pretty good last year. Like,
yeah,
there was some times where it was like, you know.
For the Giants, I think having the stability of at least Russell Wilson is a plus. I think going from what they've had to this is a pretty good.
Yeah.
Good.
Speaking of Daniel Jones.
Oh, yeah, former Giant. Yeah.
Former Giant.
Well, go ahead.
He's starting out for the Colts. So.
Yeah, by Anthony Richardson. That's sad to see because a lot of people had high hopes for Anthony.
Including me. I really liked Anthony. You know, I mean, his physical nature, his, like, the mobility and everything he had, you know what I mean? I think he could be a great quarterback. Biggest thing is his decision-making, for sure. Yeah. Like, definitely questionable. Like, his arm talent's pretty crazy, you know? But
the decision-making, that'll be...
that's a teachable thing.
It'll be improved over time.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you before we started recording, Anthony Richardson has less reps in college and high school than Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, all these guys that are younger.
I mean, you could double it.
Or not younger,
still under,
but that are fresher to the league.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Which, I mean, then he's got the time in the league as well. So, and, I mean, you look at his first year in the league, he was hurt almost the entire year.
Yeah.
So.
That's what I mean.
Then again, last year was almost his rookie year, you know? Like, his full rookie year. So. But you see the motivations aren't right with him checking, like, you had mentioned him checking himself out of the game. There is question marks about his work ethic and commitment. Yeah, and like as you are a leader as a quarterback. You know what I mean? You are leading your team, like, and seeing your leader check out. Obviously, that doesn't sit well. You know what I mean, with other players that are putting themselves on the line to win that game.
What does that say to the rest of the team that you check out? Does that say you've given up on them, or that you just don't have it?
I think it says you've given up on the rest of them.
Basically,
you know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily think that means you. I do think it also means you've given up yourself, but I think you're just over with it in general. A little bit of everything. You know what I mean? Like
the guy needs more time, and I think he's for sure, based on what we've seen and what he said after being announced that Daniel Jones will start. He said he respects the decision, but that doesn't mean that he hasn't worked harder and gotten better. So at least he's humble and he's willing to accept this, and he can move on.
And I mean, he still will. I don't want to say bad, but like we haven't seen anything from Daniel Jones.
Well, we've seen what you'll get. We know what he is.
We know what he is, and at the very moment, he probably is a better starter.
Maybe at this point
I understand
that.
But
the ceiling is much higher with Anthony.
Why would you not want to get the reps and everything, that play experience, to where maybe in 3 years down the line, he's an immaculate quarterback. I mean, think about his size and nature and his physical stat. Like he would be a very physical. He has the biggest hands in the NFL.
Really?
Okay. I mean, just like he.
Or is it for a quarterback? But yeah.
I mean, he brings back that Cam type of play. Definitely. You know what I mean? So it's just like you want to see that from him, and I think that's what they expected from him. At the same time, he's not Cam. I think the IQ, I think, is different. And I'm not saying he's dumb. I'm just saying the football IQ. Cam was, and still is, just so intelligent. Everything around football. Absolutely. And I think once he can make that change, and maybe we're not behind the scenes. Maybe he doesn't even push himself to make that change. You know. Yeah. But at the same time, maybe him sitting for a while won't be the worst thing. Honestly, you know what I mean. Look at Young.
Yeah.
After he sat and came back at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like absolute game changer for him. But I think that will do some things to some it just kind of depends on their personality as well. You know what I mean? You could see him not working, so maybe it is good to sit him and be like, then we'll replace you. You know what I mean? Like showing that they are still willing to replace them instead of him thinking he's kind of invincible. But Bryce Young, I don't think he has the same mentality, and him sitting for a while absolutely changed him for I think the long run. I think he'll do a lot better this year than we've seen in previous years from him. So.
And they're both different circumstances. I mean, one.
That's what I'm saying. It's completely different circumstances, so it's hard to gauge.
But sitting can definitely open your eyes. So
yeah.
I think it could be beneficial, but we'll see if he gets moved or if he demands a release or a trade or he wants to start fresh somewhere, whatever the case may be. I think what ultimately will happen, and this isn't to wish anything on anybody, but I think ultimately Daniel Jones will flutter, and I think they'll move on to Anthony Richardson. So.
I mean, we've seen him with the Giants for such a long time. We, like you said, we know what to expect, and we've never seen anything that's super impressive. You know what I mean? To be I want you as my starting quarterback. You know what I mean? I can't even think of a time where I'm like, wow, that was great. You know what I mean? Pass, whatever the case is, rush. You know.
He's got some good rushes, but we all remember the turf when the turf monster got him on that long one. So he's had some blunders here and there.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the knowledge though and the experience of being.
And he got a year under Kevin O'Connell with the Vikings to learn a little bit, and he's a guru, so maybe that helped him out.
Yeah, that's true. And Vikings, they like bringing in quarterbacks all the time and somehow succeeding with them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, I wanted to talk about a quarterback who is struggling a little bit, and if it should raise alarms or if it's just high hopes hitting a speed bump. So, Joe Milton. People thought, this guy's going to come in. People thought he was going to come in and replace Dak this year. But based off the first two performances, I would say hold your horses.
In practice, honestly, to be 100%, he kind of looked better than Dak. He looked a little quicker. The arm talent is crazy.
Well, yeah, his arm is snappy, powerful. He looks very young and
it's the decision making and the elegant touch a quarterback needs to put it in a hole.
Like, you know what I mean? Between completions and interceptions, right there.
100%.
Touch. Yeah. That's all it is.
That's the difference in touchdowns and picks, or you know what I mean. Think about fourth down or third downs. You know what I mean? Those big time plays. I have a lot of hopes for him though. I've already we get to see him live.
2 years ago at the combine.
Yeah, at the combine, and just wow! Everything we saw, we were like, man, this guy is crazy. You know what I mean? So,
but when it comes to reading a defense,
it's a completely different thing. He can look like a practice superstar, but then when he goes out and plays, you know what I mean? It's a whole different beast. So, but that some of these quarterbacks that you never know, might never get it, but I think he has I think he's close enough to where he will catch on. You know what I mean? Maybe sitting for a year or two, especially behind someone like Dak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Could really elevate him, you know? So.
And just to add this, I think his roster spot is completely secure. You don't have to worry about them cutting him. No, he's going to be their backup quarterback.
Yeah.
He's going to start again this week against the Falcons.
Which is good. I think he should start every game on the preseason. Keep Dak out. You know what I mean?
He's going to remain a developmental backup. The idea is that he can move quickly into the starting role, maybe next year.
Think about how much. I think people forget Dak's got time.
Exactly. I think that whole thought's a little premature.
Yeah.
So the idea that everyone had saying, "Oh, this is it. Dak, find a realtor. Dak, better pack your bags." That type of stuff. I think that was all a little far fetched and a little too premature. So, Milton's just going to need to show some growth, and he's going to be trusted more and more. And then he'll have some upside. I mean, he already has upside. He's gonna become something.
The arm talent is I don't know that I've seen much like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you can even get 75% of Dak's IQ in him, you know what I mean? So give him 2 years to sit. You know what I mean?
Here's a question for you: what would need to happen for Milton to ever truly get a shot in Dallas
as a starter and actually succeeding?
Would it mean a catastrophic downfall for Dak or another big injury?
I honestly think I could see Dak just slowly weaning off to where does really good the next year or two, and then starts to kind of fall off. You know what I mean? Or plateau to where he's not.
But slowly and plateauing, that might be better still than what Joe can provide.
But with Joe sitting behind him,
I guess time will tell.
I think we already know he has the physical talent and the arm talent, so now he needs the IQ. And sitting might be the perfect thing for him. You know what I mean? With that arm, you're not worried about, okay, he can't make this pass or that. He can make every pass you can think of. Yeah. It's just he needs to think of it in the game instead of in practice. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. And like you said, time will tell.
So do you think he is the future for Dallas one day, or do you think he's just a toolsy backup?
I really think it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
I think he could be, and it's not a bad shot to take. You know what I mean? I think you guys aren't losing anything taking that shot, and now you get to sit, and now you get to see him progress. You know what I mean? Think about Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Some people I think just need a minute to sit. I mean, he's getting reps in. He's getting the offense down. You know what I mean? Hopefully he'll make some good connections with the receivers out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know this next game on Friday is going to be pretty important for him, just to settle down the critics and to feel good about himself, more importantly.
And I think he just needs to settle down himself a little bit out there. You know what I mean? We talk about Caleb's problems. His was waiting too long. I feel like Joe's is kind of the opposite, where he's snapping it out almost too quick and not reading the defense and reading what he could get out there proper. You know what I mean? He could take that extra half a second and really find something that's either going to be a bigger play or that's just, you know what I mean, better read in general. So against that defense, whatever. whoever you're playing, you know.
Switching it to Chicago, what are your thoughts on their performance the other night against Buffalo?
I mean, you can't be sad about 38 now, you
Yeah.
know. And we needed it I think, 3-yard line. A little classy, you know.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
More importantly, what was your thoughts on Caleb's first drive?
First drive, beautiful. There's not much to say other than he's definitely changed.
Footwork, timing.
He was much snappier, holding the ball a lot less. There was one where they definitely broke through. D-line definitely broke through and were coming after him. Kind of threw it away, you know, instead of taking a sack or trying to make a crazy play. You know what I mean? Throwing it away, smart move. Making some good reads out there. I mean, people forget everyone's been hating so much. And then everyone sees this game, one drive. Actually, he had 2 drives, but his second drive wasn't nearly ended in a punt. There was some bad runs, a little bit of everything right there. I don't think it was necessarily all his fault. But again, people do forget it is. I've been trying to calm myself down because I don't want to get too hyped, you know what I mean, and too excited about it. It's the off season.
Yeah.
It is still. You know what I mean? This is not the season. This is not you are not playing starters right now.
No.
Did he look good? He looked incredibly good. But Tyson Bagent came out and looked just as good as, in my opinion, almost. You know what I mean? I think he fits that style so well that I think Tyson Bagent almost looked comparable. I wouldn't say better. The athleticism on Caleb is different, the accuracy, but at the same time, fitting into this defense is more important than those two things. I'm not saying those two things can just drop off and you can't have any of them, but being able to play well in this offense, I should say, my bad, not defense, is just as important as the accuracy and everything else combined. You know what I mean? Because if you can't catch on to that offense,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how accurate you are or anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the biggest takeaway is he's getting the ball out faster.
Yeah, and he's moving better.
He's losing that college ball mindset to where he's trying to make a big play every time.
Yeah.
He's taking the safer bets, even though there was one. I mean, the 2 tight ends came out swinging as well. I mean, that was lovely. And then Zacchaeus at the end. They were all big plays, but it was just finding that perfect timing instead of, you know what I mean, taking much long. I mean, just getting the ball out quick and then let the playmakers do what they are there to do instead of you trying to wait until they're downfield and making the play yourself. You know what I mean? It's letting the playmakers do what they do.
You can't win it all yourself. You got to spread the love a little bit. And I think even using a guy like Zacchaeus, who would have thought? He's kind of just thought of to be like a special teamer, maybe like a 4th-string wide receiver. He's out there. And
now I don't know that you could start Luther Burden over.
Yeah.
It's really a toss-up between the two. And if you, for people who paid attention or not, when they did have starters out there, Luther Burden was not.
But we should also mention what Luther Burden did.
I mean, I had 5 good catches.
But not even the catches, what I was talking about.
I think 17 yard. Oh, the blocks.
The blocking.
Especially
that's what won him 3rd-string wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's got it in the bag.
The blocking was
if you're going to show that you're going to be committed to protecting your team and ultimately fighting for the goal of getting a touchdown.
Which I think there's
even if it's not to him, he's trying to get the team to score.
Yeah, 100%.
That's going to get you that job.
I think there's a chance that Ben came out and was like, protect the ball if you want to see the ball. You ain't getting the ball unless you show up and protect these guys. Right. There's definitely a chance that Ben said some stuff like that because, I mean, the blocking was just, it was really,
textbook.
Really good. Yeah, it was, I mean, he was throwing dudes 5 yards down and, I mean, past the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? On runs. So I was very impressed by that. But as I was saying, though, Zacchaeus has been looking terrific. And the Caleb and Zeus connection, they've been looking good in practice. They've been looking good in preseason games.
So, I mean, he might add a second dimension.
The speed is crazy, you know?
He might add something.
And it might be like him and LB Luther, you know? might share the third position instead of it being set on one. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I was very surprised at how much Zacchaeus has done for this offense already. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's still preseason, like I was saying, but at the same time, even in practices, I'm just seeing a lot of targets to him.
I think
he's getting the ball a lot. What you know, do with him. I agree. He likes the speed. Yep. You know what I mean? He had Jameis Winston.
Nope.
Or
Jameson Williams.
Williams, my bad. Yep. Anyway, yeah, no, and I think that's kind of his. I mean, it's weird because Luther Burden's the physical aspect that he had, but Zacchaeus is the speed that he had there. So it's kind of a toss-up between different plays. You know what do you want? You want the speed or the physicality on different plays? Yeah. You know? So
the Bears are going to have...
the wide receiver room is, I think, better than last year.
Well, and with the tight ends, I mean, the Bears are going to have the weapons to sling it around.
Speaking of the tight ends, I mean, coming out swinging, I think it was the first 2 or 3 passes were all tight ends and looked just incredible. Colston Loveland coming out looking really good, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Throwing to Cole Kmet, which, again, I mean, I've said this in previous pods, but I don't think he was utilized right, and people were saying he was possibly going to get traded after getting Colston Loveland. I think the duo is better than anything else you could want. Yeah. Colston Loveland, his biggest caveat is people say he's not the best in blocking.
Yeah, but then you got Kmet for that.
Then you have Kmet for that, which is also very good at, I mean, everything else. He is a true tight end. I think Colston Loveland is almost more receiver
tight end.
He is. Yeah, he's more towards the receiver.
He's a playmaking tight end. He's not necessarily your blocker, but you can improve on that.
He gets open. That's the biggest thing. Yeah. Like he kind of reminds me of Travis Kelce, not in his run style or anything, but just like the way to get open. Yeah. Midfield. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty crazy. That's my biggest takeaway from that preseason game. Other than that, like I said, Agent was looking absolutely amazing. And then, I mean, we saw a little bit from Ian Wheeler, which I would really like to see make the starting roster. I don't know that he will, but I think he had quite a few snaps. There were some that were a little underwhelming, but again, you don't even have the starting line out there. I think he could be something special. I really do. And then also we didn't see Kyle Monangai. He was hurt. So I think we will be seeing him this next game. So I'm not positive on that. But I think, which is crazy because we were scared about the wide receiver room. Now the wide receiver room is looking pretty good. None of them are crazy star power yet. You know what I mean? None of them are like making the team right now just invincible. You know what I mean? And that's what we need. But I think from Kyle and Ian Wheeler, I think those could be our future guys, you know? So
yeah, and you can't forget about Roschon Johnson. So
and you also got Swift, which I think he's great, but I don't think he's I think he will, if we keep him, I think we only got him for 3 years, so this year and next year as well. Which I do really like Swift as a receiving back, you know? Yeah. Not as a full, I don't think we want to put him down there and get those hard yards. You know what I mean? I think someone else could fill that position better. So
yeah, but like we were also talking about with Ben Johnson, is the tricks up his sleeve. I feel like he can utilize just about anybody somehow.
Yeah. So, and I mean, Swift also played with Johnson before. Yeah. So, I mean, you never know what they have already schemed up and already have out there. You know what I mean? Already have available. So
good point.
Who knows? I think he's speedy. I think once you give him an open lane, he's crazy. He can make some depth. He's really good. He's just, when he's running through the D line, he always gets caught up. That's my biggest thing. When he's running, when he has an open lane, if you're running it wide, it's Swift. If you're running it through the D line, it's Kyle or Ian Wheeler. You know, that's my biggest takeaway from everything I've seen, practice-wise, everything. And if you're passing the ball, it's Swift. He's a great catch. You know what I mean? He's got great hands, like, for a running back. I really think I mean, we saw some pretty good catches last year from him and Caleb Williams. So it's just the physical run nature. He's very good at playmaking and you know what I mean. And once he's in a little bit of open space, he's got the juke. You know what I mean. He's got everything you could need. It's just the only thing is that physicality, getting that 4 or 5 yards on a first down. You know, that's my biggest concern. So
noted.
Yeah. Right. Other than that, I mean, the O-line's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd say that. D-line, Austin Booker's been looking
amazing.
Immaculate.
Yeah.
He's been looking really good. I think he could start over Deo. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name. But, yeah.
No, I think
a lot of takeaways from it.
Austin Booker should start, definitely.
Yeah. And either way, the depth will be good. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Big improvement.
Yeah. Excited on every front. And we got Grady, you know. And Billings got a big sack last game. Still preseason, but it's good to see. It's good to see. You got the D-line. You got, I mean, Dexter, Jarrett, and you got Billings.
Yeah.
All looking good. So
pretty solid.
I just can't wait to see Dexter. People don't rate him nearly high enough. So
yeah, fair enough.
I think he's just been growing a lot every year. He started off pretty rough, but I think he's been growing.
Yeah.
Making big steps forward. So
definitely. All right, you got anything else you want to go over? Whether it's Bears or not, we can go over.
What's your what's the biggest thing that's caught your eye in these preseason games? Player,
out of
team
anybody?
Itself? Yeah, player, team itself. What are you thinking? What are you scared of?
What am I scared of?
What are you seeing that makes you nervous?
Okay. If that's the question, what am I seeing that's making me nervous?
The Commanders at all? You see that game?
That doesn't make me nervous. Only thing that makes me nervous is if it's related to the Cowboys. But we can talk about that if you want. But
I'm just saying other team-wise.
Other teams,
you
to
like
spread it out.
That you're like, man, that's
okay.
They're gonna be.
Okay, this is what concerns me.
Okay.
Joe Burrow has no O-line protection, and he's going to get demolished again this year. They have other issues they're worrying about right now, but that offensive line is going to get him killed.
I mean, their defense might be in the bucket. Yeah, like I don't even in the trash. Like after losing their starting,
the Bengals,
DN,
they're going to learn.
Amazing.
They have a great quarterback and 2 great wide receivers, but other than that, they've really spent their money on just that. They spent
too much money on receivers, is what it is.
Yeah,
they needed to invest way more in O-line and defense.
Exactly.
Those are the 2 things. And look at the Eagles. How did they win last year? Defense and O-line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying those other people weren't obviously participating. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just imagine Saquon without that big O-line, or imagine Jalen Hurts without a defense that can carry if he were to mess up at all.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
Like you got to look at the blueprint, and the Bengals are not.
I mean, I forget the statistic, but like every person that's gone to, or every team that's gone to the Super Bowl the last like 20, 30 years has had like a top 10 defense in the league, or something like that, other than like 2. You know what I mean? So defense, I mean, people forget how important that is as well. So
yeah, defense wins championships. Right?
Yeah,
it should at least get you there.
And any updates on the Micah situation?
No real updates other than Adam Schefter today said that he could see a divorce happening, but that doesn't mean that it's this year. He said it could be 2 years down the road.
I mean, everyone's freaked out about it, but
we all know what's gonna happen.
He's got another year.
And then a franchise
tag. And then
tag.
He has a franchise tag.
Well,
and then another franchise tag. So, I mean, he could be there without him choosing to be for the next 3 years, you know?
Yeah, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it like Jerry said not to. Thanks, Jerry. Oh, wait, you're still...
No, you're good. Okay. And if you really part ways, you're going to get a whole lot
Don't talk for like I say. I'm going to cut it. Because either way I stood up and it looks weird. Go back to what you're saying.
Oh, I like it. I put on a weird face. Okay, back into it.
Yep.
If you do lose Micah, you're going to get a whole lot from it.
Yeah.
You're either... I don't think you'll get...
I'd say
any team that trades for him, obviously is lacking in the DN department, so you're not going to get that in return.
It's fine.
You know what I mean? Maybe you'll get someone that's like mid-level.
I don't want that.
Like,
I want 2 or 3 first-round picks.
2 or 3. I think you could get like
You could get 2
a
without
first,
a
a second, and a player or something.
If that's the case,
like,
I would rather just say no.
yeah. I
Like-
mean, 3 firsts. That's a team's like future.
Yeah.
But I mean, they are investing in the future. Micah,
Yeah.
still young. I mean,
25.
he's literally still on his rookie deal.
Yes.
So, but then they got to remember they're gonna sign him, and it's going to be hefty.
The longer we wait, the more expensive. I'm predicting $45 million.
Which I think that's why they're waiting. They're creating all this controversy, and I think Micah and I can't even think of your Jerry, good old Jerry, met Jerry. I think they're scheming this together. I think Jerry's like, I'm gonna try and give you the biggest paycheck I can. Like, I don't know why. I think they're in a back room talking. I think their mindset is like more similar than people think.
I really hope you're right, but people think that they genuinely hate each other.
I think Jerry is a lot more high IQ than people think. I'm not saying he's made all of the right decisions or the smartest moves, but I'm saying he's been in this league for a long time. He's getting old. He is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think people forget what Jerry's done for the Cowboys, kept them a winning team this long.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the playoffs, haven't been your thing, but there's not much he can do. He's kept you a winning team, getting you to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd rather at least make them than not.
That's what I'm saying. It's one thing.
Obviously, you want to go far.
Yeah,
but saying that you don't make the playoffs hurts a lot more.
That's a whole different situation. Like, you can't be worried about winning the playoffs if you can't even make them.
Yeah.
And he's at least kept you guys running in the game. So.
Yeah, and he knows what it takes to win a couple. So maybe he can do it again one of these days.
Exactly. I mean, you never know. Maybe Dak comes back and he's
just slinging it.
He's going after it. I want to see his legs again. That's what we were kind of missing from him last. I wouldn't even say we didn't even get to see much of him last year, but the year before that, he was kind of missing the legs he had.
But he was still second in MVP voting.
I'm not saying he wasn't good. Yeah. He was slinging it, great pocket passer. I'm just saying those legs that he used to have were crazy, and that was winning games for them.
It just sucks when you snap your leg in half and things change a little bit.
And then you tear your hamstring off, I mean, so I'm to expect his legs to come back right after he tears his hamstring off.
Tough to expect that, but you might see a little improvement. That's the goal.
I just want to see them utilize his physical nature a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's big. He can run through some shit. He's with it. I mean, I'm just saying I miss the old where he was they were in the red zone and he was like, I'm taking this shit myself, and just going through people. So.
No, I agree. I'd love to see some of that. He's still only 32. I mean, if you want to compare him to some other guys, Joe Burrow's already 29. So
crazy to think about. That's wild.
Yeah, Josh Allen's 29, I believe, actually. But either way, I'm pretty sure Joe Burrow's 28 or 29
Burrow's a little bit young, I think.
I believe he's 29 or 28.
But, I mean, you look at some of these guys starting. I mean, look at Cleveland right now starting.
Yeah, they got a 40-year-old.
Is he 40 or 41? I was going to say 41.
40, I think. Okay. Rodgers is 41.
I mean, then there's Rodgers, too. You know what I mean? These guys are out there competing until they're that age. So
yeah. No, age isn't the worry. It's just the injury history.
I won't lie. I don't see him starting until he's 41 like
I would say maybe like 38.
I was going to say like 37, 38, in the same ballpark. Yeah. Like, I think he will start to fade. Like, I mean, losing his legs was one thing, but he's still a great pocket presence is crazy, Once, I mean, now after 2 big leg injuries that have been season enders, you just got to wonder how much he's willing to risk as well,
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just on if he's wanting, or I mean, if they're wanting to start him, if he's wanting to start as well. You never know. Like they're completely different injuries too. Yeah. So, but you just hope that he can stick it out. I mean, this season's really a statement for him, I think. So,
I agree.
And you got some crazy wide receivers yourself. So your wide receiver room's looking a whole lot better. So, yeah. I mean, that could be the thing he needed.
Definitely. So, maybe he'll have 2 1,000-yard receivers this year.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Be awesome.
All right.
Yeah. So wrap it up.
Yeah, I guess so. that being said, not much else to talk about, so we're going to go ahead and call it quits. Thanks for tuning into the Nosebleeds. This is Tucker sitting alongside
Hunter.
And Dak is also joining us most of the time. So
yeah.
Thanks again for tuning in, and until then, wipe your nose.